Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the film special style, fiction on one side, and documentary on the other side. It looks very amazing, this mixture, I think. Maybe you can describe it.
Well, I can. It's interesting that the question of documentary. I mean, I'm quoted here at the Berlinale of saying something that I said a long time ago out of context. What I actually said was that when I make films, I try and, because I create a complete reality in front of the camera by involving the actors and everybody really in a completely three-dimensional world that we really know about, what I meant was that when you make a documentary, the world that you film exists before you ever show up to film it, and it still carries on existing after you've left. And if you didn't film it at all, it would still exist. And what I was saying was that I aspire to that condition in the quality of reality, in what is in front of the camera when I make a film. But what I wasn't saying was that that my films are in any way documentary in style. It would be true to say, however, within Happy Go Lucky, that there are moments that have a documentary feel to them, particularly when she's with the child and the social worker and so forth, because in a way we had to film those things in a documentary way because of the nature of working with a kid rather than a sophisticated adult character, professional actor. But the style of the film, which of course deals with this kind of realism that I always have in my films, but at the same time in this particular film we use a very heightened colour and design which expresses a kind of positive, if you like, happy-go-lucky spirit. I think that's quite a sophisticated decision we've made, helped by a brand new, remarkable film stock called Vivid, made by Fuji, that is about bright colours, and we decided to use this and make a widescreen film, and it does, the whole energy of that comes out of the original idea, the notion that I shared with the cinematographer and the designers, which was, all about the central character, Poppy, and her energy and her positiveness.
And you used very small cameras in the car, for instance. This is also it's a little documentary element. Because
well, yes. It's important in the car scenes in the film that the actors are actually driving the car in the road for real, for various reasons to do with what's going on. Normally, you would put the car on a low load or a trailer and drag it around the streets, and the actors would pretend to drive, but that wouldn't work for this. So Dick Pope, the cinematographer, devised an elaborate use of small digital cameras to make that possible, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, really. What did you like most on this feature for Sally? Is just very interesting.
What did I like most?
Yeah, what do you like most on this feature, on this role, on this part of her? This character. Yeah.
Well, apart from anything else, I think Poppy is somebody I'd like to meet. I mean, she's a very engaging and positive person, and I think that's what I want you, the audience, to experience. I think I'm a realist in films, and I'm a realist in life, and life is tough, and apart from anything else, I wanted very much to make a film that flies in the face of the quite understandable current fashion for being miserablist and negative in the 21st century. And we have every reason to be miserablist and negative in the 21st century. We are on a disaster course, as we all know. But I felt that what I've wanted to share with the audience was something positive, and that is what Poppy does for you, without it being escapist or trivial, I hope, or frothy.
Because some colleagues of mine in the press screening, they had some problems with this feature. Others like it. I like it very much because it's sort of unrealistic, but it's nice. It's to have such a character.
Yes, I don't think. I mean, if people have a problem with Poppy, I am quite convinced that the problem is their problem, not Poppy's problem, and certainly not my problem. I mean, in the film, sister, for example, she goes to visit, who is pregnant, says to her, "I don't think you're happy." Well, we know perfectly well that she is happy. It's the sister who's not happy. And I think the same will be true of the people that don't get on with the film.
You said some times ago that you like to have a film that you have no moral things. You don't want to say to the people, "This is my moral" or something. So it's free of morals. So you see what you see, and you don't.
Well, I may have been quoted as saying that, but I think it's altogether too simplistic an idea, because my films are always invite the audience to confront moral questions. So I don't think it would be accurate to say, and I don't think I've ever actually said that my films. That I make no contribution to a moral position. But what I don't do is to declare a single fixed moralistic position. So I invite you to consider your own reaction to the film. And when you say, as you just have, that some people really like Happy-Go-Lucky and some people can't get on with it or can't get on with Poppy, again, that is you, the audience, having to decide what your real truthful response is to the spirit of this film. It's a film, it's not an intellectual film in the sense that it works on how you feel about it. It can't be deducted rationally, in a sense. It's a film, I hope, if it works for you, it creeps up on you sideways.
Yes. That is a good. Okay, last question. To be in Berlin with this film, do you think you have chances on Berlinale and so on?
I have no idea at all. I don't know how anybody will react to the film. I don't know enough about the other films. I've been on juries myself, so I know that a jury can move into all kinds of funny decisions in different directions for all kinds of good reasons, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if Happy-Go-Lucky was perhaps regarded as being not serious or profound enough. I think, for myself, it is. It has its own profundity. I think it has something. I am saying something serious with this film, but I have no idea whether that will have any weight or not. I really don't mind whether we win anything here in Berlin or not. It's great to be in Berlin. I like Berlin. I like the festival, and this is its world premiere, and I hope the world will like the film.